Hi guys, in this video to celebrate the fact that Charlotte Tilbury has finally made it to New Zealand shores, I am doing a full face of Charlotte Tilbury makeup today using some of the newer products, new to me, that I purchased once they landed in New Zealand. Now before we get started, it's been a tough week in the beauty community on YouTube with the loss of my most favourite YouTuber, Mel Thompson. I have only ever felt this way about somebody I didn't personally know, and that was when Lady Di passed away. But when the news that Mel Thompson had passed away, I had those same feelings. And although I didn't know her personally, I watched every one of her YouTube videos. She was an inspiration. She was beautiful. She was a beautiful person. I loved her channel for the mere purpose that she never got caught up in drama. She focused only on the beauty, the makeup, and she just came across as a most beautiful, wonderful, kind person, and I fell in love with her because of that. And I'm going to miss being able to tune in every day as I get ready in the morning and seeing her beautiful smiling face. And I just wanted to acknowledge that it is a huge, huge loss to not only this platform of such a wonderful person, but my heart goes out to her family, her husband and her 4 children and her extended family. I don't know, I just can't comprehend what you're going through at the moment. I do want to acknowledge that there is a GoFundMe page to help the family, and I will leave a link to that down in the description box. It does have the blessing of her husband and it was set up, so I will find a link and I will leave that down in the description box. And it doesn't need to be much, but if everybody contributed a little bit, that would really help them out. So with that really tragic acknowledgement and news to a soul gone way too soon, and it's sad that the good ones leave us way too soon. I feel a bit guilty to switch gears, but we are going to switch gears into makeup. And as I said, Charlotte Tilbury finally made it to New Zealand shores with a company, or a beauty company here in Australia and New Zealand, called Emeka Beauty. They launched in September and my order was placed at 6 minutes past midnight of the day that it launched. I was so excited for it to be here. I haven't gone in physically and played with colours, and I really want to have a look at lipstick shades, things like that. But in the meantime, I did get my online order. So we're going to do a full face using Charlotte Tilbury products and all of the new stuff that I purchased. Actually going to go around about today, and I'm going to do my eyes first. So I am just going to prime my eyes with my NARS Soft Matte Concealer. I like this as an alternative to, say, a MAC paint pot because it's a little bit not as drying. It's not as drying as a MAC paint pot. I found when I was using a MAC paint pot. I just found it made my eyes look a little bit more textured than I liked, and this gives me good coverage, sets really well, but it's just a little bit more non-drying. Do I need to set it? No, because I think there is a nice light shade here. There is. Now I did pick up the Super Nudes Easy Eye Palette. I had been wanting this for a very long time, and I missed out on it when it launched last year, I think, because this particular shade was not available on Beautylish, and Charlotte Tilbury didn't ship to New Zealand, and also wasn't available on Cult Beauty, but you could get the Darling palette everywhere. Now I did get the Darling, but I found it wasn't what I was reaching for. I liked some of my quads better, and I passed that on, but I really wanted this Nudes palette. So I'm going to go in with the, and it's actually just called number 1 Prime shade, in the second trio. She has them set up in 2 trios, Prime Enhance Smoke Shade, Prime Enhance Smoke Shade, but I am just going to mix them up. I'm not going to use them in the trios as she suggests, and I'm just going to set my eye with that Prime shade in the second trio, and I am using a Morphe 504 brush. Now I love Charlotte Tilbury. If there was only ever one brand that I could have in my collection, it would definitely be Charlotte Tilbury, because I like all of her products. Many other brands, there might be 1 or 2 products in the brand that I like, but I don't like the entire brand. Charlotte Tilbury, I do. So it would definitely be the brand I go for. Now I'm going to go in with the Prime shade here in the first trio, and I'm just going to take that in the outer corner and diffuse that into my, what I would like as a crease line if I had a non-hooded eye. Now I'm just holding the brush near the end of the shaft of the brush. This gives a softer, more diffused way of applying your shadow. If you hold your brush here, you actually, it's not as soft, it's quite intense, but by having your holding your brush at the end of the shaft of the brush, you get more of a diffused layering of the shadow. So I'm not being particular here, just filling in that shade, that area of the eye. And these colours are definitely more my cup of tea and more for everyday looks. I'm going to go in with a Sigma E25 blending brush. I'm going to go in with the Enhance shade in the second duo. Once again in the outer corner of the eye, and this time when I come into the crease, I'm doing it a little bit lower. And just concentrating that down. I'm just going to go back in with our first shade and re-enhance that on the lid, because I'm not going to put any sparkle on today. I'm just going to use this palette it's actually nice to have a palette of mattes from Charlotte instead of it being all shimmery. And I am going to get a lot of use out of this palette, pairing it with some of the other Charlotte Tilbury palettes that I have that do have more shimmers than matte. So looking forward to incorporating it. And I'm just taking this shade here, the smoke shade in the first trio, and I'm just going to add that to my outer corner. Now I'm holding the brush further down because I want more precision rather than diffused, and by holding it further down I get that precision better. I really like that for just an easy everyday eye look. My kind of workday look. Now I did get 2 foundations from this order. I have used the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation before and I know I really love this. And I also got the Airbrush Flawless Foundation, and I hadn't tried this, so we're going to try it today. Now I will do my brows after I've done foundation. So we have the Airbrush Flawless Foundation. I have mine in the shade 5.5 Neutral, so I hope it's the right shade. I have primed with my One Size Beauty primer, and I'm just going to dot this. It's very neutral, very, very neutral. I'm just going to dot this all around, and I'm going to use my blending sponge to blend that in. And I keep slouching, I'm sorry. I need a chair with a back in my makeup room, but I actually am just sitting on a stool. It's actually very good coverage. Not sure about the colour, it seems a bit yellow. But by the time I add other makeup, it doesn't look right, does it, guys? I've got so many different shades of foundation because I buy all my foundation online really and take a guess at the colours. I'm hoping by the time I add other makeup it will look alright. It is very full coverage and quite matte. Okay, I haven't quite got it around my nose, but I might fix it up with concealer, because sometimes I find I miss this little gap just in this crease of my nose, and then sometimes if I go over it too much with my sponge it actually lifts it from other areas, so I will fix that up with concealer. And I don't think I want to add any more. I can still see some pigmentation here, so I might add just a little bit, but I'm not going to add any more here because I don't want to emphasize my texture. And I'm thinking, because this is quite full coverage, if I go too many layers it might emphasize all my pores. Not sure about the colour. Now, I've had my concealer from Charlotte Tilbury for quite some time. It is getting a little bit drying out, but I am going to use it today for under my eyes. I've primed with my Becca Under Eye Primer, and I have mine in the colour 6 Medium. And I'm just going to dot that there. It is getting to the end, and I am going to put a bit around my snoz. Taking the sponge. Now, if my eyes are a little bit red today, it's because I did lash extensions last night, and I've had a little bit of my eyes are a bit sensitive. I do wear contacts when I do my lash extensions, and it will settle down in a day or two, but I did need to film. It's better. It's been a much better way of getting in that little crevice around my nose. I've been noticing going to work the last few days, I've been in such a hurry, I miss that little crease, and I have this little crease in my nose, and it does not look very professionally done, or you know, doesn't look put together. Okay, so foundation, concealer. Probably could have done better with a colour match, but I'll hop into the store and see if I can get something better, depending on how that wears and if I like it. Now, I do have the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Skin Perfecting Micro Powder. I have mine in the colour 2. I don't like using it as a setting powder. It hasn't got the longevity for me, but as you can see, I have been using it quite a bit. I use it for a touch-up powder during the day, but today I'm going to use it as my under eye powder. I'm really scared that it's going to break up very, very soon. So using that for under eye powder, and I still have not found a powder that I love better than my Huda Beauty for my setting powder. So I'm going to go in with that. Now I'm just going to quickly do my brows with Anastasia Brow Freeze and my Kat Von D powder brow, and I'll be back. Okay, so brows are on. One of my favourite products that I like is the contour wand, Hollywood contour wand. I usually only use a powder contour, but the Hollywood contour wand by Charlotte Tilbury is the only so far liquid contour that I like using. It is messy with the packaging, but I love how this blends out. So what I'm going to do, and I have powdered, bear in mind, so I'm just going to pop that from the top of my ear towards the outside of my lip. A little bit on my nose, and 3 dots on my forehead. This just blends so beautifully. So I'm going to do my nose first because I don't want it having too much product on the sponge from the rest of my face. It just blends beautifully and softly. It's actually, I would use it every day if it wasn't so expensive, because it is pricey for the amount of product you get. But if I could, it would be the way I would contour every day. But I use powder because it's more affordable. I mean, just like that. So simple, and yet I can see that my nose looks contoured in a soft sort of way. So I'm still going to use the edge of my sponge. And then just, oops, I've let the dots dry a little bit. Can't have that. Oops. That's all right. Blend it out. Should have done it bit by bit. Now taking the butt of the sponge, because it's got the foundation on it, I'm just going to blend that. Blend the bottom of my nose too. Just as a soft way of contouring, I really, really love it. So that's added some colour to my face. I do have the Flawless Filter Film Star Bronze and Glow. This was the original, and it's still one of my favourite bronzers. So if I wanted to do powder, I could, but I think maybe I will do a little bit. See, I don't know what I'm doing. So let's grab a bronzing brush. We'll go in with the bronzer. Try and use as many products as possible. I'll use it towards the back. So many little bits of hair. Okay, now 2 exciting products that I bought that I have not tried. And every time I wanted to get this product, it went out of stock so quickly, and I could only get it from Cult Beauty. And it's the Glowgasm Beauty Light Wand, and I got mine in Pinkgasm. And I also got it in Spotlight for a highlight. So this is new. So let's see how we go. So this is Pinkgasm. And that packaging again, not a fan because it's really, really mucky, but maybe it would be better with a brush rather than a sponge. Not sure. So squeeze a little bit out. But this seems to be the most popular blushy coloured one. So I'm just squeezing to see if it's... Do I have to do that? There's an on-off. Okay. Oh, is there an on-off on that as well? Oh my lord, there is, you silly girl. So that's why that's been so... That's why my contour's been so mucky. I've never switched it on and off. Well, well, well. What a doofus. Okay, it looks a little bit cleaner than it was. Okay, I didn't realise they switched on and off. Okay, so there is a little wee twisty there. So switching it on. Ah, there it goes. Coming to the top. Okay, and then I'm going to dot it. Ooh. Okay, very pretty. Okay, so I'm going to use the other side of my sponge. I'm just going to pinch it up a little bit. That is a really nice colour. You can see why that's quite popular, and it has a wee, probably really good products to use with such a matte foundation with a little bit of sheen on it. Here, I'm trying it with a sponge today, but maybe I would use it with a brush. Not mad at it. I think I need to add a little bit more on that side. Very pretty. But I think I would use a brush next time. But not mad at that. It is really, really pretty. Okay, now, did I turn it off? Yes, I turned it off. You only get 12 mils for the price. So it's a lot of money, but I mean, I've had this a wee while, but as I said, I only use it for special occasions because I like it so much and don't want to go through it. I'm really liking the eyes. I think I might have to say that that's one of my favourite Charlotte palettes because of the tones and the fact that they're matte. Okay, so now we're going to go with Spotlight, which is a highlighter. Turn it on. I can't believe I've had that contour all that time and not realised how it works. And boom, here comes the colour. So I'm going to switch that off. We're going to dot that. Okay, what am I going to use to blend that with, ladies? Let's try Real Techniques brush. Whoa. Okay, maybe it needed a sponge. Okay, let's find a bit of, yep, it needed a sponge. Whoa, that's definitely glowy. Okay, let's take it here. Probably a bit much there, but I'm not used to cream products. I will practice how to use them, but that is a beautiful glow. I am impressed with that. Will I put a little bit on my nose? Do, do, do. Go on. Okay, switched off. And there, I might use my finger. As we are coming into spring, summer, I think they're going to be really good products to use. Okay, I'm going to go back in with my eyeshadow palette. I'm going to go in with a short shader E20 by Sigma. And I'm going to go in with the smoke shade in the first trio. And run that really close to my lash line. Lift up my little gap in the fold. Going in with the Sigma E25 blending brush that we use for the crease shade, and I'm going to go for the Enhance shade in the first trio, and then just lightly buff that out. Okay, now I did go back and to place an order later in the day to get some eyeliners from Charlotte Tilbury, but all the shades that I wanted were sold out. So I will just do a waterline black, and I'm just going to use my Essence kohl liner. It's so much easier doing my eyes, and I much prefer my lash extensions. Much prefer them. They just open my eyes. I find wearing my lash extensions too, it hides my hoods and my folds. Without lashes, I can see the fold in my eyes in the outer corner, but by wearing lash extensions it disguises that, and I'm really happy with that. I only have one Charlotte Tilbury lip liner. I am going to try to use it, but I think it's really going to be the wrong colour, but we'll give it a go. And it is Pillow Talk, this one. Yes, do have to say the cream highlighter, I'm going to come up close again in a minute, is accentuating my pores. So maybe I need to go easy on that. So that's Pillow Talk, and I don't think it's the right colour, so I'm going to go over it a little bit with, because I'm going to wear a different colour to what I'm used to. My KKW 1.5 nude. I love this, but don't think I will be replacing it now that I've discovered Natasha Denona and the Huda lip liners, especially because I have to pay shipping for KKW. Now I did buy two lipsticks. I got Penelope Pink, and it's not pink. It's a very pale beige. It is not pink at all. Definitely not on me. It is definitely a pale beige. Probably not as flattering as I was hoping. And the other one I got was Coral Kiss, which is a coral colour. And it's probably not going to go with my pink cheeks, but I'm going to try it because it's a different shade to what I normally wear on camera. And I purchased this because summer's coming for us. I like that. I do like that. Now I am going to come up close to show you the texture on my cheeks. And I think it's just because it's so shiny. And using the concealer in my nose, probably not great. So definitely can see texture on my cheeks there. You can definitely see texture on the cheeks. But overall, I love the lip colour. Really love the lip colour. I love Charlotte Tilbury, and I'm going to have to say this palette I can see being my favourite Charlotte Tilbury palette. What fantastic colours, right up my alley. I love the formulation of her shadows, but the colour story is me all over. absolutely love those. So happy that Charlotte is in New Zealand, happy that we can get it, because Charlotte Tilbury never shipped to New Zealand, and we're probably not going to get the same deals that you can get directly from the Charlotte website, because Mecca Beauty never do combo sales, things like that. So it's a shame that we miss out on her mystery boxes, her combos, her 40% off sales, things like that, because Mecca never do. But I'm just so grateful that we do have it available now and is easy access to get. It doesn't sound like we're getting the 12 pan instant eye palette here, so that is something I will purchase from Beautylish, and I believe that's coming available soon, so there will be a video coming for that very soon. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. I love Charlotte Tilbury. I'm very happy with this look. I am going out and meeting hubby for lunch very soon. He's out surfing. So I hope you've all had a beautiful and a wonderful day. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Would really appreciate it if you gave the video a thumbs up. It would truly help out my channel. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video. See ya, guys. Bye.